So the fifth, sorry, is it the fifth one? I can't remember. So it's not the fifth one, it's actually the sixth one that can help you to generate your idea. And that's brainstorming, like I said earlier. Now, brainstorming is actually tasking your mind to bring out something from outside your environment, okay? Tasking your mind to bring out something worthwhile outside your environment. Now, we're going to look at two kinds of brainstorming that you can do to generate business idea. Now, depending on the kind of business you're doing, we have what we call random brainstorming and then structured brainstorming. Now, for random brainstorming, you can do it all alone, or you can also involve some persons. Now, it's usually good to start with yourself. When you are done with yourself, you can also invite your friends, depending on the kind of business idea you are looking at. If it's a business idea that has to do with masculine things, let's assume I am the one in this picture, and then I want to get into furniture or things that has to do with wood making and stuff like that. I'm going to invite my male friends, to brainstorm with me. Now, I'm inviting them because those things has to do with, in our own environment, masculinity, in quotes. So I actually need more of guys than ladies in such business. So I'm going to invite more of guys in my brainstorming work for when I'm going beyond myself. Then, but if it's things that has to do with, let's say, interior decor, pastries and stuff like that, I'm going to invite ladies, okay? So that's just one thing about, but then, it's not limited to any sex. So back to what we're talking about. So that's for random brainstorming. You just pick up ideas. You pick a word. Let's say you pick wood. So you're going to ask yourself, what are the businesses around the word wood? So you look at businesses around wood, maybe furniture making and stuff like that. Now for structured brainstorming, you're going to look at this word and you look at it critically. Structured brainstorming is when you think of the different processes that are involved in a certain operation or particular business. Let's take, for instance, you want to get into production. You're going to look at those involved in production, and then those involved in selling process of that thing you will produce. You're also going to look at maybe recycling that particular product, what it takes. Are there people that are already into recycling or recycling of that particular product? And then those that are indirectly related to the production of that particular product. It could be, assuming you're into recycling, the scavengers that go and gather this plastic containers, they are also related to your business. And then those involved in servicing. So you're going to consider all this when you are doing structured brainstorming. Now, at the end of the day, you can pick up a particular word and then look at all the things around it. Now, remember I said you could start with yourself, be it for random brainstorming or for structured brainstorming. So now we are going to look at structured brainstorming together. So let's look at cutting t-shirts, producing t-shirts. Now, in getting this done, we're going to look at the production line, the selling line, the service line, the spin-off line, and then possibly the recycling line, if there is something like that, or reusing line. Now, I'm going to look at the things that are involved in each of these lines that I've mentioned. Now, for production line, you're going to have, you have to talk about buying cotton and spinning cotton thread, cloth production itself, and then dyeing, making of t-shirts and silky materials. Now, we get to the selling line. For the selling line, you're going to talk about shop selling t-shirts, stands, fairs where they sell t-shirts, or even boutiques where they sell t-shirts. That's the selling line. And then you talk about the service line. Maybe we look at the dry cleaners that service these clothes and then that take care of our clothes. Even the people that could sew or put another design on this very clothes or material that we're talking about. And then you talk about the spin-off line. In the spin-off line, you could talk about creating banner design. Remember, the banner that you're making, you could be using cotton material for it. So now look at all these lines. For reusing, you could talk about selling this clothes at second-hand clothes. So you look at all these lines around the clothes. or the cotton material. That's actually an item or a word that you have picked. So you look at all the possible business around it before you choose that particular one. So I'm going to give you an assignment. Just look at this box. I'm going to remove the clothing just from your own head. Brainstorm by yourself. You could also involve your friends. Just pick up something that you want to brainstorm, okay? And then look at all the lines that I've mentioned earlier and pick the businesses around each of these lines. And then with that, you would now know what you want to do, exactly what you want to do in that production line. Because it's possible for you to pick up a particular word and you all you just know, let's take for instance wood, and all you just think about in wood is furniture making, but you know that in wood you have the reusing line, maybe like using it as charcoal. You also have underwood, you can use it to make wood stove. You can use wood for, apart from the furniture making, you can also use it for like fixing the roof and stuff like that, paper, making of paper that we use and all the rest of them. So you need to like consider all the chains of possibilities around the single word wood. And that's basically what we do for brainstorming. So just give yourself some time. Well, the reason why people hardly get think out a business idea is because nobody's ready to think. But if you take out some time on your own and brainstorm, definitely you're going to come out with something unique. I bet you something very unique. Having looked at all the points I've given you so far on idea generation, I'm going to give you an exercise. Very, very simple. I want you to critically look at ideas that have come through your mind in all the points that I've given you on idea generation. Get those things down, okay, on this box. And then on the other box, you're going to give us the description of the idea in question, the people to sell to, and all the rest of all the things that I've given you earlier. There are some exercises I've given you earlier. Now, why you are doing this is for you to add up to your idea list. I know you've already found some ideas, but I want you to add up to your idea list. And then in the next video, we are going to be talking about owning your own business idea. At this point, you should be able to now own and come up with an idea and say, yes, I am confident of the fact that this is the business idea that I've conceived and I'm actually ready to get into it. So join us. Make sure you don't miss the next video, okay? I am still your friend and your teacher, okay, on entrepreneurship. My name is Dr. Ne Onyabo. Make sure you subscribe, like our video, and also share with your friends, okay? So that's all we have for you this evening. Bye-bye, and have a very good evening.